stuff here. Alrighty, I think we are. I think we're live. I'm not sure how well I can be heard. One, two, three. It seems like it's kind of okay. I don't know why. It seems like my volume is down. I know how to fix it, but let me just come over here and make sure we are popping out the broadcast. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm also just going to make sure I'm monitoring our chat and our stream just to see what's going on. And so now let me fix the audio. This should have been done prior, obviously, but I think what's happening is my compressor or my gate is just a little too much. Probably the compressor. And it's knocking down some of that beautiful sorry, audio that we've got. I also need to make sure that I got a working camera here, which I thought I did, and now I cannot see it, so that's great. Let's just find out the Logitech. There we go. It's going to be a little pretty. Just get that back up in here. We'll transition it up, and I think we're good to go. All right, so I'm just going to goof off, and I'm going to pull in. I'm using my big monitor, so I'm not actually drawing, but I'm going to pull in some images here from, well, not that, from a animation I want to do. Let me see if I can find it here now. Should have totally had this prepared. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. I believe this one may be here, and if not, Kid Monster. Okay, so this is going to be down here in the Chuck folder, I'm sure. Chuck, let's just see. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have a few things take place at a bar that I have got here. This is going to be kind of the main bar. I'm just going to bring this in and drop it on top so you can see. This is a door into the bar, and then we're going to have this window with a table, and we're going to have some seats around it here for our characters to chat and talk at. I'm just going to turn these off, and like I said, we have got our yeah, there's our bar here. In fact, I think these guys, there we go. Yeah. All right, so this is basically kind of the setup there. I've also got a couple of characters here that I've been playing with, but I'm going to change them up. I figured why not bring them in and do a little, kind of like trace over on these characters. It speeds things up, and I did generate these, so, in the sense of saving some time, which I do recommend sometimes. There's nothing wrong with saving a little time. Once again, if you guys are watching, let me know. If you are wanting to chat, the chat is open and I'm watching it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this background layer, turn on this character here. I think what I'm going to do with him actually is make him kind of like a tracing layer. We don't have to, well, since I can't lock this, I recommend doing that. So let me go ahead and delete him out of here, and I'm just going to bring in my guy as a tracing layer real quick. So select tracing image, and we will jump over here. So let's see, bar, and I'm just going to bring this dude in as our tracing image. This is pretty representative of this fellow I knew. And, well, he was a character. Alright, so I'm going to take the bar door and window. We're just going to get rid of those. Leave the bar layer in here, and I'm just going to sort of drop that on the bottom and leave it turned off. And I'm just going to kind of come in here and, you know, play with a couple of things. We don't necessarily have to make this character just now. But you know what I could do is actually, let's make the bar instead. I think that'd be probably more interesting right now. I'm just going to take that one and delete it as well once it's on. I don't know why it's not letting it. It needs a layer at all times, I think is what it is. So now that I've got that, I can delete the bar. We'll take our tracing image and swap it out here for the bar. And just throw in that, and then that way I can recreate some of this stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Let's make a stool. That's pretty cool. Let's make a stool. And what I will do, I guess, is just draw some stuff out. I mean, now Illustrator might be a better case scenario here, but hey, you know, we'll do what we want to do when and how we want to. So I'm going to make it as wonky as the original here. And add some points where we need them here shortly. And then of course move some stuff around. Don't know how well you guys can see the lines here, but because they are like a light blue right now. I'm just going to move a couple things. And no drawing, this is just clicking and adding points. So those of you who don't draw, it's definitely an alternative. And then of course our curves tool, you can always come in and adjust how these are sitting. Unwonkify them or wonkify them, however you like. So once everything is sort of good, I'm just going to come in and give it a shape. Select the lines. We're going to go just with fill, and we're going to create that. And I probably should have also brought in another one of the bar images right here, so I can jump over and select colors. Kind of takes some time to be able to do that, but it's worth it. So now that I have this sort of top done, I'm just gonna make a back layer that's the light blue on there. That's the bar though. We need to be on the layer here. And yeah, just come in here and make a shape, or select my shape I already made. And once that is selected, we can drag our color to probably the middle blue, I think will be good. Then we can go in and create our other shapes here. Fairly simple. So yeah, that's one way of going about that. I'm going to probably just make this all on one layer, like this. Zoom in, get me a little corner going. This doesn't matter because it's going to be hidden. Snap that there. Work my sharp there a little bit. Yeah, feel free to chat, guys, if you're watching. I don't know if anyone is. I don't know if the chat's even working. Hopefully. And once that's good to go there, I'll zoom back out with my trusty zooming and just get a larger color here. We're just working base colors, you know. So I'm gonna select this, just use fill. He likes getting used, I guess. And then I'm going to grab the under section right there. So we have a good start. That one though, you can come to the draw menu and kind of lower it back and it will go behind as you probably want. And then we can work out these other bits of the seat. It's very quick. I want to show you guys masking real quick here. Something you will definitely want to be able to do. Let me just get some more points in here. What masking will allow you to not have your lines perfectly in here. It lets you cut things off that you don't want to be seen. It works really excellent for doing things like eyeballs. I have a full tutorial on that if you just look on my channel there. And but it also works for props and stuff and other things. So I will show you that now. Let me just get this a little more tightened up. These don't need to be so out there and so big. Just get these a little closer so we don't have to manage them later if they're in the way. This is just something that will be cut off. And what I mean by that is we're going to make the color like so. We're going to create the shape. I'm going to go and snag my color from this seat right here. So we're just going to grab that and steal it. And with that done, so we've got this, but you see the overlapping colors. What I'm going to do is probably we could have separated that. Let me show you. I'm just going to grab this line of this stuff and I'm going to cut it. So I'm just going to edit cut. I'm going to come over here and create a new layer, and you could do this before also, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put seat shadow is what I'm going to call it. Doesn't matter what you call it. We're going to paste it on there, so it's still here exactly where you had it, but now it's on a new layer here. And what I want to do is make this seat part cut off any of the extraneous stuff outside of it. It's really handy. I do it all the time. I'm also going to cut this one now that I think about it. Just put it on its own layer as well. Doesn't have to be, but it's cleaner. So this is going to be, I'm going to call this underseat. Yes, Mr. Underseat. And then this one will actually be called seat. Okay, so now that we have those separated out, what I want to do is group them together. So select all of them, right click, and group with selection. And now we're going to call this seat. And in here we're going to double click, go to this masking tab, come down and say hide all, and say apply. And now we want to make sure that these in here on masking do say mask this layer, which we do want for the seat shadow. But for the seat, I don't know that we do. Yeah, let's say don't mask this layer for that. And for the under seat, we don't want this masked either. Okay, so that is an add to mask. Yes, I guess, no, we do not want that masked. And then here, if we had strokes, we'd say include strokes, but that should be it. Let me just double check on that. Actually, I think this probably does need to be added to mask. Double check on this. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing my under seat though. Let's double check everything. Hide all is correct. Let me see. It's very possible I didn't carry the color over, so that's probably what it is. Let me just find out. I'm going to my shape's gone actually. I don't know why that is. I guess I just deleted it. Well, let's fix that because there is no shape here to work with. So this will be redrawn again here. Sorry about that, folks. I'm making this probably a lot more confusing than it needs to be. I'll do a pretty proper tutorial on this soon because I think it's a super important thing. You don't always use it with things like eyes. It can be used pretty much for anything. masking will save you a lot of time. Believe it or not, even though I'm making it take forever, it can save you a ton of time. So let's just get this shape redrawn in here. Normally you won't have this problem, I promise. I'm just going to create that one again and get that in here. So you see now it's not been masked, but if we double click on it again here, go into masking and say add to mask, exclude strokes if there are any. This one, mask, go ahead and mask everything, I think. Maybe. What's happening here? Okay. The seat shadow should be masked as well. Okay, I'm getting a little confused with myself right now. I think under seat probably shouldn't be in this group for one. Let's go ahead and take that out. That's what it is. The seat should be the one masking everything. So add to mask. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so the under seat did not need to be in this group. This is just seat and seat shadow. We're going to do this again to show you how that works. And I'm going to use this top color now to show you that it's not as bad as I just made it, I promise. Okay, so let's go ahead now and add another color. And, geez, this isn't going to give you the same idea. This is just going to be another layer within here. So this one's already kind of set up. This is just going to be seat, shadow, upper. This one you don't have to do a whole lot to. It will be included with the stuff that's already been set up. So let's do something after this to show you again in a more simple form. But you see, I draw this outside. All that's going to get cut off. So there's no reason to worry about it. I kind of guess is what I'm saying there. Because I had hide all set to my group, that will take care of 90% of the problems. If you do have strokes, of course, you need to go to the doctor. No, you need to go to that last thing here on the bottom, which is the seat that's cutting everything off, and tell it to include the strokes. We'll do this again shortly here, just so you guys know what I am talking about a little easier. But once we have this, we are going to have to make the shape here on the top. And we're going to say fill, create shape, and I'm going to come over and grab that shape, and we're going to say fill it with this green color here. And now that should be working, and everything's masked, as you can see. That's because it's inside this group. We can do this again if you want with this little seat next to it. So I'm just going to do one more here to give you a better idea. This is going to be seat 2, and this right now is just a layer. What I suggest is go ahead and draw that out first. So I'm just going to make the main seat here. So this is the follow along that I will not mess up this time, so it'll make sense. I'm going to go ahead and finish drawing this out. It doesn't have to be perfect, of course. And once we have it, let me just straighten up a little bit. I'm kind of picky. And once that is all good, we are going to make the shape for it. I'm just going to grab it right here. We're just going to use fill. We're going to create the shape, and we're going to now decide on the color, which is going to be this color here. Just going to pop that in. Okay, so now what we want to do, this is just seat 2. We want to make the 2 different shadows for this. You can do them at the same time even. I do suggest that now. So we're going to make a new shape. Don't click on the previous line of the seat shape to make this one, otherwise you will join with it. Join us forever. And I'm just going to make this go outside the bounds as we showed before. I'm going to straighten up these corners here just by hitting this little sharp button. Alright, good enough. That one is going to have a shape created for it too by selecting it, create shape, and I come over here and select my shape, select the eyedropper, and that will now take on that color. We're going to make another shape real quick, which is going to be our actual seat color up here. The little shadow, upper shadow, whatever you want to call it. Whoops, for that area. Let me reconnect here, just making sure. You don't have to put these way super out because that might become distracting later. Go ahead and create the shape for it here, just using fill. And we're going to zoom out, select the shape, and we're going to select this color here for that. In fact, we can get this third color, this third shape here at the same time if we want. So, okay, I'm just going to come here, make an extra shape. I am going to overlap to keep from clicking on that line again. And you get the idea. And then I'm going to sharp that corner, get it pulled into where it's supposed to go, you know, somewhat. These can then be moved because they're not going to weld because I have auto weld turned off. These are just going to overlap some. This shape will be behind this one. So there we go. So now I'm going to make that shape too. Not that one. Let's get this one. We're going to go ahead and fill that one, create shape, select the shape we want, and that one is going to be the same as the stool here. Just in case we don't have the color selector, which we do, we would come here, select it, say, hey, fill it with that, and you're good to go. One thing you need to do now is go into the draw menu with that shape selected and lower this one probably at least once to go behind the blue. If it's still not behind the blue, which it is not, we need to reselect it, go draw, and make sure you select it though. Go draw and lower the shape again until it is like so. Okay, so these are all set up. They look ugly, but these really should be on separate layers. But we can solve that with this setup just fine here, since we're not making an eye and they don't really have to be on multiple layers. Hey, Sloth Cat, how's it going? What we can do is just group this with itself, like so. Call this seat 2, and double click on it, and we're going to use masking, hide all, apply, and watch what happens here. Nothing, because we have to tell it that seat 2 is basically acting as the mask, and that is not true again. Okay, I know what I did. These shadows do have to be separate layers no matter what. So let's just go ahead and grab them, all 3 of them. Well, at least these 2. We're going to cut that one, make another layer. This will be above. This is going to be called light shadow. And we'll paste those back in on that light shadow area. It looks like it did not bring the color. This does happen sometimes. So I'm going to grab these just in case. Oh, maybe it did. But if not, looks like it did though. I think we're okay. Yeah. Okay. And then on the seat, I'm just going to select this shape. We're going to cut it. And I'm going to paste it on its own layer. Again, real easy here. We'll call this shadow just to make it fast. And paste that in there. So now we're back to where we were. We have a light shadow sticking off. We have the other one sticking off. We select on it. So what we want to do is we also want the seat, which is this one here. Hang on, not that one. Let me just delete that. We want the seat, which is this one. We want the shadow, which is this one, and we want the light shadow all in here, like so. And what we are going to do, I think I need to actually add the color back into this one, it looks like. Maybe not, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to fill that, and I'm going to come back here and select the proper color just in case it's not. All right, at least I know it's right now. I think it was before, I'm just double checking. So once we have this, you're going to come up into your main top folder, double click, go to masking, hide all, apply, and then in the bottom seat layer, I'm going to double click on that and just make sure that exclude strokes is there. Make sure it's on add to mask, and it's good to go. If you notice, when we turn off our tracing image, it's there, it's cut off. So if we turned off masking here, no masking, you would see this is actually going to be all these pieces. So we need the hide all. It turns on the masking for that layer, and you're good to go. So that's what we did over here too. And I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and have some dinner. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned a little bit about masking there. And yeah, that will be it until later when I come back to do